government may further tighten the rules related to OTT platform. Purpose to curb obscenity. Advisory has been issued twice. Four biodiversity heritage sites approved in West Bengal. The number of such sites increased to 8. Approval under Biodiversity Act. INTACH appeals for conservation of important structures. The Villakumar Dome structure also included in this. This structure is established in Thirunelly temple. India's first water body census report released. Ministry of Jal Shakti conducted the census. Ponds comprise 59% of the total water body. And world's second deepest blue hole discovered. It is named as Tam-Ja, identified off the coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The government is looking to further tighten the rules for OTT platforms. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says that obscenity cannot be accepted in the name of creativity. However, the ministry had earlier also issued 2 advisories to remove sensitive and objectionable content on OTT platforms. These advisories emphasized the need to set up a grievance redressal mechanism on the website of the OTT platform and to remove illegal and inappropriate content within a stipulated time frame. These advisories were issued under the IT rules, that is Information Technology, Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021. It also provided that the website of the streaming platform should notify the receipt of the complaint within 24 hours and it should be disposed of appropriately within 15 days. Significantly, in the second advisory released in the month of March, the streaming platforms were warned that care should be taken to ensure that films and web series are appropriate. Along with this, it should also be ensured that the material published by them does not violate the code of ethics prescribed in the IT rules. However, this code of ethics has been stayed by the Bombay and Madras High Courts. This stay has been imposed under Rule 9(1) of the IT Rules 2021. Therefore, the Internet Freedom Foundation says that they are not bound by these rules. Let us tell you that the full name of OTT is Over the Top. Under this, programs and films are made available on the Internet according to the needs and interests of the Internet users. According to a statistic, during the corona epidemic, there was a huge increase in the number of users on OTT websites. The State of the Global Climate 2022 report was released recently. The report claims that in the year 2022, 58% of the sea surface is affected by the marine heat wave and 25% of the surface has experienced a marine cold spell. Marine heat wave and cold spell are conditions of extreme heat or cold that occur in the seas and oceans. The report expressed concern about the marine cold spell. It says that there is currently a decline in the frequency of marine cold spells while the frequency of marine heat waves has increased. According to the report, the marine heat wave has affected the Laptev and Beaufort seas of the Arctic region on a large scale. Similarly, Svalbard at the North Pole and the Ross Sea at the South Pole have experienced extreme marine heat waves for the second year in a row. The report says that in the year 2022, the equatorial Pacific waters are widely affected by the cold spell. In addition, limited regions in the Southern Ocean are the only regions in the world that have shown an increase in the duration of marine cooling. The report claims that so far the global average temperature has been the highest on record in the last 8 years. Significantly, this report marks planetary scale changes in land, sea, and atmosphere due to greenhouse gases. The State of the Global Climate Report is published by WMO, that is World Meteorological Organization. It focuses on key climate indicators like greenhouse gases, temperature, sea level rise, ocean warming and acidification, sea ice and glaciers. Apart from this, it also throws light on the effects of climate change and extreme weather. Recently, the government of West Bengal notified 4 biodiversity heritage sites. With this, the total number of biodiversity heritage sites in the state has gone up to 8. West Bengal has reached number 1 in the country in terms of biodiversity heritage sites. The new biodiversity heritage sites include Char Balidanga and State Horticulture Research and Development Station campus in Depada, both in Nadia, Namthing Pokhar in Darjeeling and Amkhoi Fossil Park in Birbhum. The Char Balidanga heritage site consists of 2 islands spread over 115 acres. Some part of this is swampy flat land which is covered with algal mats. The site is home to about 100 species of birds apart from the golden monitor lizard and golden jackal. Tropical vegetation with tall grasses is present here. Namthing Pokhar is a wetland in the foothills of the Himalayas, which is home to the Himalayan salamander. Amkhoi Wood Fossil Park has a unique geological and paleobotanical features. Significantly, the state government notifies a place as a heritage site under Section 37 of the Biological Diversity Act 2002. These are unique and sensitive ecosystems. Under this, marine ecosystems, coastal and inland waters or terrestrial areas are included. The Biological Diversity Act was passed to achieve the objectives of the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. Its purpose is to protect traditional knowledge, prevent biopiracy, etc. Any offence committed under this act is cognizable and non-bailable. Recently, INTACH, that is Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage, has urged the government to preserve the historically important structures of Wayanad district. It includes the 600-year-old Villakumadam structure at Sri Mahavishnu Temple at Thirunelly. Villakumadam is famous for its exquisite granite formation. This structure is still incomplete. Significantly, the Thirunelly temple is an ancient temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu on the banks of the Brahmagiri hill in Kerala. The temple is situated in the valley. The temple faces east where the sun rises over the Udayagiri range. To the north of the temple is the formidable Brahmagiri mountain range. According to experts, this temple was built in the 15th century, which is built in typical Kerala style. The name of the temple is derived from the Amla tree. It is also known as Shyamala Kshetram and Kashi of South. INTACH was established in the year 1984 at New Delhi. It is a non-profit charitable organization registered under the Societies Registration Act 1860. Its purpose is to make people aware of heritage and to preserve it. It is known as one of the largest heritage organizations in the world. Recently, Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched liquid nano-DAP, that is di-ammonia phosphate. Nano-DAP is manufactured by cooperative major IFFCO. Recently, the centre had notified nano-DAP in the fertilizer control order. The government has set a target of reducing the usage of granular DAP by about 90 lakh metric tons through liquid DAP. For this, 18 crore liquid DAP bottles will be produced in the country. Liquid nano DAP is being considered as an important step towards making India's fertilizer sector self-sufficient. This will not only increase Indian food grain production but will also make India's fertilizer sector self-sufficient. Let us tell you that the fertilizer control order was brought in the year 1985. It was brought in to regulate the sale, pricing and distribution of fertilizers in the country. As far as fertilizer production is concerned, out of total 384 lakh metric tons fertilizer production in the country, 132 lakh metric ton is contributed by cooperatives, while 90 lakh metric ton out of this is produced by IFFCO. In May 2021, IFFCO launched Nano Urea. Recently, the World Bank released the Logistics Performance Index 2023. India gained 6 places in this index. India has been ranked 38th as against its rank of 44 in 2018. This year, 139 countries participated in the index, in which India performed exceptionally well. Singapore has topped the index. It is followed by Finland and Denmark. The report attributes the improvement in India's performance to substantial investment in technology, along with hard and soft infrastructure. Along with this, modernization and digitization have also been held responsible for the improvement. Due to these efforts, the report believes that emerging economies like India have seen improvement in their logistics sector. India has moved up 5 places from 52nd in 2018 to 47th in 2023 in the infrastructure sector. India has also gained an edge in the field of international shipments. It climbed to 22nd spot for international shipments in 2023 from 44th in 2018. Significantly, in the Logistics Performance Index, performance is measured on the basis of 6 key dimensions. These dimensions are customs, infrastructure, ease of shipping arrangements, quality of logistics services, tracking and tracing, and timeliness. Based on the scores obtained, ranking is provided to different countries. Recently, the first census report of India's water bodies was released. It has been issued by the Ministry of Jal Shakti. It provides a comprehensive list of water resources including lakes, rivers, natural and man-made ponds and tanks present in the country. Also, the level of use of these bodies in works like irrigation, industry, pisciculture, domestic use, drinking and groundwater recharge has been considered. The report says that about 59% of the total water bodies of India are ponds. Then it is followed by the tank, reservoir, percolation tank or check dam. Significantly, about 55% of the total water bodies are owned by private entities, while 45 water bodies are in public ownership. The report claims that 78% of water bodies are man-made, while 22% are natural water bodies. Apart from this, 1.6%, that is 38,496 water bodies, are victims of encroachment. According to the report, there are about 24 lakh water bodies in the country. The report lists the top 5 Indian states in terms of number of water bodies as West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Assam. There are 7.47 lakh civic bodies in West Bengal. The top 5 states in terms of number of water bodies in urban areas are West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh and Tripura, while in rural areas are West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Assam. Recently, a report was published by SIPRI, that is Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. In this report, researchers have highlighted the military expenditure incurred by various countries in the year 2022. According to the report, this year countries around the world have spent $2,240 billion on their armies. Thus, it is an all-time high level of military expenditure. According to the report, this year saw an increase of 3.7% in defense expenditure against the global GDP, while Europe's defense expenditure has seen a huge increase of 13%. This is the highest in the last 30 years. The report blames the Russia-Ukraine war for the increased military spending of the world. Due to this, the military expenditure of Ukraine has increased 6 times to $44 billion. According to the report, America is still the biggest spender on defense in the world. America spent $877 billion on defense in 2022. This is equivalent to 39% of global spending. Apart from this, China is the second and Russia is the third highest military spending country. According to the report, India ranks 4th in the terms of spending on defense. India has spent about 23% of the total defense budget in the year 2022 on modernization of equipment for the armed forces and strengthening military infrastructure along the border with China. Last year, India had allocated Rs 5.25 lakh crore for military expenditure in the budget. SIPRI is an international institute dedicated to research in warfare, armaments, arms control and disarmament. It was established in the year 1966 in Stockholm, Sweden. Recently, scientists discovered the world's second deepest blue hole at the bottom of the ocean. This hole has been found off the coast of Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Its depth is about 900 feet. According to scientists, this blue hole is spread over about 147,000 square meters. This discovered blue hole was named Tamja. In Mayan language, it means deep water. It is situated at a depth of 15 feet in the sea. The slope of this hole is 80 degrees. Significantly, before this, the world's deepest blue hole was discovered in the year 2016, which is located in the South China Sea. Its name is Dragon Hole, and this hole is more than 980 feet deep. Let us tell you that blue hole is a kind of vertical cave which is present underwater. The blue hole has a biodiversity of its own in which many types of flora and sea organisms reside. It is formed by the mixing of limestone and salt water of the sea. Since limestone is porous, seawater dissolves the lime with it. In this way, a blue hole is formed there. According to experts, many blue holes were formed in the ice ages, and when the last ice age ended about 11,000 years ago and the sea level rose, then these holes were filled with water and thus these holes became extinct. Recently, 6,448 schools were selected for PM-SHRI, that is Pradhan Mantri School for Rising India scheme. Most of these schools are from Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Maharashtra. PM-SHRI is a centrally sponsored scheme which was approved by the Cabinet on September 7, 2022. In September last year, the Union Cabinet approved a Rs 27,360 crore scheme for 14,500 schools across the country over the next 5 years. Under this scheme, schools will be selected from across the country, which will represent the implementation of the National Education Policy 2020. They will lead their respective regions in providing high-quality education in an equitable and inclusive school environment that nurtures children from diverse backgrounds and diverse academic abilities. The scheme is expected to benefit 1.8 million students. PM-SHRI will be a modern, transformative and holistic way of imparting education in schools. These schools will be equipped with modern infrastructure including laboratories, smart classrooms, libraries, sports equipment, art rooms, etc. Apart from this, these schools will also be developed as green schools with water conservation, waste recycling, energy efficient. Let us now look at the 5 questions based on the bulletin. Questions based on today's bulletin are: first question is, consider the following statements. 1. Villa Commodore is famous for its exquisite granite formation. 2. Thirunelly temple is situated on the site of Brahmagiri hills in Kerala. 3. Thirunelly is an ancient temple dedicated to Lord Shiva. Which of the above statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 3 only, 1 and 2 only, or all of the above? Next question is, with reference to the recently released Logistic Performance Index, consider the following statements. 1. It is issued by the World Bank. 2. India has secured 38th position in this. 3. Singapore has secured the first position in this. Which of the above statement or statements is or are not correct? 1 only, 2 only, 2 and 3 only, or none of the above? Next question is, with reference to water body census, consider the following statements. 1. It was first launched in the year 2015. 2. According to this, about 59% of the total water bodies of India are ponds. Which of the above statement or statements is or are not correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? Next question is, consider the following statements. 1. Recently, the world's second deepest blue hole has been discovered at the bottom of the ocean. 2. It has been named Tamja. 3. Blue hole has its own biodiversity. 4. Many types of flora and sea creatures reside in it. Which of the above statements are not correct? 1 and 2 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, 3 and 4 only, or none of the above? Last question is, with reference to Pradhan Mantri School for Rising India scheme or PM-SHRI, consider the following statements. 1. It is a centrally sponsored scheme. 2. It was approved in the year 2022. 3. It represents a modern, innovative and holistic way of imparting education in schools. Which of the above statement or statements is or are correct? 2 only, 1 and 3 only, all of the above, or none of the above? Recently, the Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs launched a city beauty competition across the country. Its purpose is to encourage transformational efforts. According to the ministry, it is an online competition. In this, municipal wards and public places will be judged on parameters such as accessibility, facilities, activities, aesthetics, and ecology. The selected wards will be honored at city and state level. These awards will be given under 4 categories. The city which ranks at the top will be awarded the most beautiful public space. Recently, a report has been released regarding Lockbit ransomware. According to this, Lockbit ransomware was first detected in Apple's Mac devices. According to the report, this is the first major ransomware virus to specifically target Apple computers. Let us tell you that Lockbit ransomware was first identified in September 2019. Then it was named ABCD virus. With the help of this virus, cyber criminals encrypt the files in the targeted person's computer, that is, they infiltrate their personal information, and then later demand money from the victim to decrypt these files. Since most of the criminals using this virus used to demand money in cryptocurrency, hence it is also classified as cryptovirus. Recently, the country's first water metro was launched in Kochi, Kerala. It will be implemented by the Kochi Metro Rail Corporation Limited with the assistance of a German funding agency. This includes boats that are hybrid, battery-powered, air-conditioned and disabled-friendly with other features. It will operate in the backwaters of Kochi, connecting 10 nearby islands with the mainland of Kochi. World Malaria Day was celebrated on 25th April. It aims to draw global attention to efforts to end malaria and encourage action to reduce suffering and death from the disease. This year's theme was Time to Deliver Zero Malaria, Invest, Innovate, Implement. Recently, ISRO successfully launched 2 satellites of Singapore with the help of PSLV C-55 from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. It was a commercial launching. This work has been executed by New Space India Limited. Under this, TELEOS-2 as primary satellite and LUME-LIGHT-4 as a co-passenger satellite were sent. Significantly, 9 satellites of Singapore have been launched by ISRO so far. Recently, the Border Roads Organization has put up a signboard, India's first village, at the entrance of Mana village in Uttarakhand on the Indo-China border. Thus, now Mana will be marked as not the last but the first village of the country. Significantly, Mana is a village in Chamoli district of Uttarakhand state, India. It is situated at an altitude of 3 km from Badrinath. It is located near Mana Pass on the border with Tibet. Recently, Credit Guarantee Fund Trust Scheme for Modified Micro and Small Enterprises was launched in Mumbai. For this scheme, additional security fund assistance of 9,000 crore has been given in the Union Budget for the financial year 2023-24 so that micro and small enterprises can be financially strengthened. Accordingly, major reforms have been initiated for better implementation of the scheme.